or you could
Because
scratch
if
off
you
on your
didn't
phone.
scratch
It was
off
very ahead
all
of
of the
its time.
scratch off over a QR code, that would be bad. You'd be like, scratch, 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 scratch. Like it
So
would.
folks, just so you know that this is pretty much what we talk about during our pre-show, and I just wanted to hit the record button before, just to make sure that everyone knew kind of what happens here.
Scratching
What's
off
up, everyone?
QR
This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler. It's episode number 250, and today's topic, we're just going to be talking about what we've been doing for the last 5 years, and
We're just talking
brought
about
a couple
ourselves.
old friends back just to come hang out with us. So
Yay!
let's go around the room real quick. We go in alphabetical order. George, you win the alphabet. It's up to you.
Hi, I'm George. I didn't actually join the water cool until like episode 80 something, so I guess I'm the new kid on the block here. But I work for Automatic doing jetpack stuff by day, and have a great day.
Awesome. How about you, John? You've been around.
I've been around since day one.
I've been around.
Which I didn't even really
been
realize
around.
until Jason was like, "You were on the first episode." I was.
Barely were.
I'm John Brown. I'm a full-time digital nomad. I run an agency called Nine Seeds. I do lots of WordPress stuff, from community to camps to meetups to building custom themes, a theme store, plugins, all of it, everything WordPress all the time through Nine Seeds. Yay!
Awesome. Good to have you on. How about you, Russ?
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Russ. I'm coming at you. I always want you to start the show that way, Jason. I work at web dev. I do digging. It is officially my birthday. I am 32, so I'm rocking my
Yay!
32 and a new dad.
I'm a new dad. That's very true.
Birthday presents.
Awesome, man. Good to have you on. How about you, Say?
Oh, hey, I'm Say Reed at Say Reed Media on all the things. When we first started this, we just said our names.
Yeah.
I looked at the old episodes. We were just like, I'm Say.
Follow
Okay,
me on
cool.
Plurk.
Hi. Like, I'm Say. Google me.
Friendster.
I have a
That's all. I'm
mission
just saying.
How about you, Steve?
I am Steve Zingen. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup.
Awesome, man. How about you, Suzette?
Hello, everybody.
Suzette! Wait, Suzette!
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 Hello, everybody. I'm Suzette Frank. I was at the beginning. I did water cooler like the first 3 years, I think. And now I'm still doing WordPress stuff, and I crochet a lot. And I just had shoulder surgery, which I'm pretty stoked about, and it's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to have you back. Good to have you back. I'm Jason Tucker. I am not Say Reed. I've been doing this show for 5 years now, and I've worked at two different places. One being a church when I first started this. Before this show, I actually started this show as a way to kind of I took kind of a little bit of a play out of Steve's playbook and said, you know what, I need to get a bunch of people together to talk about something that we're all interested in, and hopefully we could use this as a way to kind of catapult ourselves and be able to say, look, I know how to speak English. Look, I know how to do computers. Look, I know how to make the internet work. And so
Is that what we were supposed to do?
That was the whole reason for me, was I just needed to know I need to let people know who I was, and hopefully they would either hire me or partner with me to be able to do the show. So,
And look at you now. The water coolers made you tens of dollars.
I actually looked, and it's funny. Over the last 5 years, I've made $850 on.
Wow, you're a hundredaire.
Oh, wow.
That's it. That's it. 5 years. That's 5 years worth of water cooler. So yeah, that's crazy.
Drinks are on Jason.
Drinks are on me.
Jason,
we're cap any of you guys. I'll buy away.
It's like,
From the dollar menu, by the way.
That is more than any plugin developer has received in donations on a .org plugin.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but what's funny is all of them were paid by
Probably true.
Squarespace, because Squarespace is the only people that actually have figured out how to like capitalize on WPwatercooler and actually run ads before it. So
that's
very much
so
for
irony
helping
that
us
is
out.
So all of the WP water cooler money came from Squarespace?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Jason, I want to know,
Apt.
Jason, every website that you have plugged, or every one of your websites that you have plugged on WP Water Cooler, because we started with like WP Blab, then you do jasontucker.us and
Tucker
jasontucker.
Pro.
So I mean, like, if we could put together a montage of just you plugging your own stuff, I think that could be your own episode.
I'm pretty sure the $800
we
domain registration fees that Jason has paid.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much made it so that Gravity Forms makes money because the first at least 150 episodes, all we did was talk about how Gravity Forms was just the best thing ever. So Gravity Forms.
I still think Gravity Forms is pretty great.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah.
5 years ago.
Why you haven't switched to Ninja Forms?
Well, I have switched to Ninja Forms for some of my basic clients because it's free.
Ninja Forms,
freemium Gravity Forms.
Ninja Forms is the new.
So then there's the Caldera Forms that has the cutest mascot. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Is that in 250 episodes we've actually learned to let each other talk and not talk over each other. It's great.
Yeah,
we never do what now?
What we never do is 5 years ago there was one Forms plugin, right? It was Gravity Forms, and that was pretty much it. Now we've got Gravity Forms, Caldera Forms, WP Forms, Formidable Pro, Ninja Forms, Captain Forms or something. I saw at WordCamp US last year. That I was like,
a more expanded Jetpack form.
Yeah.
And then Contact Form 7 for whatever reason still keeps kicking. So I think we got
so
all these things
alive.
at the same time.
I am amazed.
I was going to say
still alive and kicking.
I was going to say Ninja Forms is the new Contact Form 7. But
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
That's true. It is.
I think one of my favorite episodes was
I
when
would
we
say
had the
Jetpack Contact Form is the new Contact Form 7, except for it works better.
one of my favorite episodes is when we had the Next Gen Gallery guy on.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Remember
what happened to that gallery? I don't see that a lot.
Still kicking around.
It's still around. Yeah.
it was
as evidenced by support requests, I can confirm it's still kicking.
Wow.
Remember the time we had GoDaddy and Jeff King on, and Say just lit into him and was firing off support requests on the Hangout?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Why would you tell your people that?
I was yesterday, and I was having a specific problem. I was wondering if you could answer.
I would like to go to the tape on that. I really would, because I'm not sure that's an accurate representation of how I.
I think my favorite guest over the years was Austin Gunter.
Oh my gosh. That
was the social media episode.
The social media episode was the best.
Are we going to link in the show notes to all of our own shows that we're referencing?
Yeah, please don't.
I totally am. I'm going to make sure that I buy extra ad space on Facebook and make sure I tag Steve and all.
Let's try to mention 248 of the past episodes.
This show is just backlinking to all of our stuff, so we get on.
Do you remember, it was like in the first couple weeks, we did an episode on making your website mobile friendly, touch responsive. And we all universally just lambasted WP Touch.
Yes,
we did.
And then the developer reaches out what's wrong with it?
We didn't. I don't think we ever. I were just that's a bad product.
I wonder if we can count how many enemies we've made on this show.
Oh no!
I can tell you how many people we've had on the show. It's actually 175 unique people have been on the show throughout.
Really?
Wow!
Wow! That's a lot of people.
I wouldn't have guessed that high.
Well, Steve always assumes that no one actually watches this show at all whatsoever, and so he's I think he does that just so he'll continue to be on the show, because if he knew that there were so many people that were actually watching the show, that he would not want to come back, because he's like, oh my gosh, these people now know that I'm crazy.
No, I have to imagine.
So let me just say hello to our regular viewers, both of you.
I have to imagine that nobody's watching the show so that I can be completely honest and open with everything I want to say. Otherwise, if I think
using the word show, this is a show?
I thought this was real life.
I was gonna say when did we do rehearsals? How is the show?
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, actually, I went to a podcast taping last night for Two Dope Queens. Anyone?
No.
And they had such a different. I was like, what? They did sound tests and clapping backgrounds and all this stuff, and it was all professional, and I was like, oh yeah, I did a podcast.
So you're telling us that
I didn't say that
Queens does a better job of getting their stuff together than we do. I mean, I did my hair this morning and I sat down at the computer and then we made sure we didn't talk about the topic before the show started. And other than that, that's it. I mean, we all have microphones and we're good to go.
I mean, that's exactly it. That's the magic, right? Like this isn't. It led me to think about how much even this world of reality, like all these reality shows that are scripted, that you are portrayed as non-scripted, and there's all this kind of blend of that. I think that's something that I've always really appreciated about Water Cooler is that it's completely honest and authentic. Like I know you guys, and you guys are who you are in this half hour and also around, and the advice you give is honest and authentic, and it's not scripted, it's not pre-planned. We're not trying to plug anybody, and I think that's great. I like it.
And we haven't sold out to any corporations, so we can push their agenda.
Well, apparently we've still got Squarespace.
Yeah.
Squarespace.
I was gonna say, like, who's gonna sit here and plug WP Engine's awesome power of hosting for just $30 a month? Who's gonna sit there and do that?
Exactly. And so that's I've had people come up to me at WordCamps and say, are you accepting sponsors? And I mean, we just talked about every single form plugin that was out there, and we were not.
Do you just accept money under the table at that point? They just like flip you cash? How does that work?
No, what I'm saying is that we've been open and honest about every single product that we talk about. We'll be happy about something one day, we'll be sad about it another day. We'll just start getting upset about everything on the show live and just be like, no, I hate this thing because of this. And I think that's what's nice about this is that there isn't that relationship that's happening with the various products that are out there, and that we're able to just be open and honest about the stuff, and people are able to listen and hear it.
I do have to say that looking back, I mean, we've been brutal at times. We've been brutal with products.
We have, but I think with good,
we've been honest. Is that sometimes that's the same thing?
Brutally honest.
Yeah, I would go with that. Yes, but it's kind of nice sometimes, as opposed to what, like sugar-coated honest.
I mean,
we're like the Consumer Reports of WordPress. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any different than a meetup or a WordCamp, though. Like, you're going to go there and you're going to be like, hey, I tested this plugin and here's what happens with it. We're just kind of doing it on a digital thing that gets recorded and can be played back on YouTube whenever they feel like.
Yeah, but at a WordCamp, I tend to speak a little bit more professionally. Not always. I tend to. Right. On this show, it's just
no.
I was thinking recently about this show because of the 5-year coming up, and I was like, oh, I realize now there's basically like, I've missed some episodes, like, some 200 episodes of me acting in what is essentially a morning radio show. And like in the beginning, we had hats and noises. Like literally, we were like,
on the morning zoo. Wow.
Exactly, morning zoo. We're like, hey, coming at you in the morning.
Coming at you.
And that was a lot of what we did. And so, I think to some extent that may have gotten some people may not expect that or think that that is what we are, like, or not believe us when we say we're just an entertainment show, not an informational show. But,
yeah, I mean, Chris early on said that education is an accidental byproduct of the show, and I totally agree with that, because even going to a WordPress meetup is the education part is an accidental byproduct, because you're going there knowing that you're going to learn something, you just don't know what, and hopefully you'll learn something. But
it's like Steve's meetup,
daily show with less comedy.
That should be
way less preparation.
That should be the slogan for Meetup. You're going to learn something, you just don't know what.
Mystery box.
That's actually really true. You can learn a lot from a meetup in all realms of life, not just the technical side.
Or I think the slogan for the meetup should be, no, we're in the other room. I think that should be it.
I think the one thing we could say about Google Hangout over the years is that it's been inconsistent.
I thought it would be gone by now, honestly.
Consistently inconsistent.
Well, it did. That's the thing.
It changed. Yeah. This is different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, all of you started sending me emails and text messages and stuff going like, dude, Google Hangout's going away. What are we going to do? And so I look on YouTube and I'm like, oh, YouTube has events still. We're good. Don't worry about it. And everybody else is ditching it for like Zoom and all these other services. And no, I thought that, this thing is going to continue working, and it's going to continue working.
I want to know how many accounts Jason Tucker has on other video streaming services and how long he has not signed into them. That's what I want to know.
Which stream, like what? Like Vimeo?
No.
I've tried everything. Yeah.
Like, how long has it been since you signed into WP Blab? How long has it been since you signed into Fire or whatever it was?
Blab's not even alive anymore. Talk about technology that died.
That's what's crazy is that
time is dedicated to name squatting on new services. That's
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Put the WP water cooler flag everywhere.
So stats wise, I'll show you guys. Share with you guys a few stats. So I'm looking in YouTube stats, and again, YouTube is only one part of the places that we actually are available. You can watch us on a whole bunch of different platforms and listen to us on a bunch of stuff.
We're all at the same time.
All at the same time. So what's weird is episode number 4 is our most popular episode.
Really?
What did we talk about?
We talked about billing for site maintenance. And Chris Lima's face is on there going.
How's it go again? How's it go? Oh, okay.
So
billing for freeze frames, all of them.
Billing for site maintenance was the most popular one, and it was weird because our first like I want to say first couple maybe 30 or 40 episodes. No, sorry, first like 20 episodes of the show had a huge amount of views, and that was because back then the network that we joined. Which is called Full Screen, they started sharing all of our videos out because we were the only person doing something other than makeup and hair and, and challenge videos and all this stuff. So WP Watercooler episode number 4 has 631,000 views.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Episode number 5 has 580,000 views. Number 14 has 579,000 views, and that one was a Say with a hat on. She has a Santa hat on.
Is that the Christmas episode?
That was.
I like to think that everyone watches that because I'm wearing a Christmas hat.
Yeah,
you should wear Christmas hats all the time.
Also, why are we calling it a Christmas
episodes?
Like,
even
what is
relevant anymore? Is it? Does the content even work anymore? Is it relevant?
On our first episode, we were talking about Woo Themes changing their pricing structure to be subscription based instead of lifetime based. That was one of the things we talked about, and I thought that was really funny because Woo Themes has shifted and changed all over the place. Yeah. Obviously, now it's part of Automatic. And but now Woo Themes has kind of disappeared, and now WooCommerce is like took over the Woo Themes, and it's just so interesting to look at the growth of even just that one brand within the WordPress space in the last 5 years. Like that's nuts.
I mean, it blew my mind when they switched over the main domain for everything Woo from woothemes.com to woocommerce.com.
Oh
yeah.
That just blew my mind. I mean, when they looked at it, WooCommerce is doing so much more than the theme side of stuff. It's just become a standard. So
it is a standard. It wasn't that. I don't even think did WooCommerce didn't exist in 5 years ago. Did it? I don't think so. Maybe in a really rudimentary form.
It was just.
I have another stat for you. So our most liked episode that we've ever had is episode number 3. And it's WordPress meetups, WordPress events. It was October 8th, 2012. It has 169 likes.
Wow.
Our second most commented one is the using Foundation Framework for WordPress themes. That was episode number 99.
What's our least liked episode?
Oh geez. I wonder if we have any that have minus.
Can we get negative down?
It's in the episode where Steve Zangit says, according to Wikipedia.
That's that one episode. Did they give you negative stats? Probably not. They're not looking to
they don't have anything
build
like
out
that.
your bummer.
Google's so positive. They're just like, you guys are doing good, yeah.
YouTube makes finding stats actually pretty hard for view counts and links and everything else.
So
they don't want you to know.
It's fun looking at the stuff because of the fact that we've had consistent views throughout the years, and downloads like podcast downloads. Those are in like the probably each episode is somewhere around 1,000 to 2,000 downloads each. So not only are people actually watching this thing, on their phones in their car, or not in their car, but watching them on their phones as well as like listening to it in their car. You have both different directions that people are kind of looking at this stuff and consuming our content.
And again, I'm just going to apologize.
Yeah,
just to give it a blanket apology.
So
I feel somehow that we may have cheated some people out of their time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is why I feel I have a greater debt to society than I did 5 years ago.
Jason, do you have a bounce rate on like how many people have bounced after watching something? Because that would be an interesting statistic.
Get a negative statistic. Hashtag how rusty.
I just want one of them. I just want one.
How bad do we? How good do we suck? Wait, no, don't say.
Whoa! Hey!
No. And that's why we get all the views right there.
So you're never going to live this down now.
Oh, out of the 5 year, this is in the 5 year episode, and I just said that. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was talking about how much we are not very good at getting negative reviews or something.
In the interest of being critical to even ourselves, Jason, can you explain how episode 142 on Page Builders has 0 views according to YouTube? No one has ever watched that episode?
Yeah, that must be
YouTube does weird stuff. So like sometimes the numbers get stuck like at number 23 or number 84. There's like these numbers that YouTube gets stuck on. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why these types of things happen. It's the weirdest thing.
I find it impossible to believe that we did a episode on Page Builders, and it was
nobody watched.
Maybe we broke YouTube. Maybe it was that good. We just broke YouTube.
I don't know, John. Have you watched it?
No.
Well,
maybe you should.
I mean, look inside yourself first, right?
Wait, so do any of you
watch it? Then why should anyone else?
Do any of you guys watch? Jason, I think you do, but do any of you guys watch or listen to the show back?
All the time.
Yeah, every single episode.
I used to.
Occasionally.
But you used to. Jason does. Russ, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, I do. So I stream it to the Chromecast right to that TV, and I usually watch it all the time.
Oh,
why do you do
my
that?
ego is not quite that large.
That's really weird to me.
And Thursdays at 7 o'clock, I put WP Blab right up on there, and I watch the live feed.
Nice.
Oh, see.
I'm hoping that you're enjoying the Squarespace ads because they're getting really good.
We're all going to be 100 airs.
Jason might be, maybe.
Oh, man.
I'm still hung up on Russ watching us, streaming us back at him.
I watch them on the TV too. That's the way I sit there and.
No. It is not the fact that you're watching on the television. That's
it's not the device.
That's not
it's the narcissism.
Yeah. So one other thing that's funny that always kind of cracks me up when somebody will ask me this is, or they'll tell me this. So like, I really love the show, but I can never find myself in front of a computer around 11 o'clock to be able to watch it. And I was like, it's recorded on YouTube, right? And they're like, it's recorded on YouTube? I thought it was just live.
No.
I'm like, no, man. Like, you can watch this whenever you want. You can go watch episode number 1 if you wanted to, and laugh about it and whatever.
I think everybody should just go binge all 250 episodes right now. Just go do it.
Oh, is it like water cooler and chill or something?
You'll make me $8. It's gonna be awesome.
I do make random suggestive statements every so often. So water cooling and chilling could work out. It's like
that's
an
our next
icebreaker.
T-shirt.
No, I think that's our
T-shirt.
episode title. Episode 250, water cooler and chill.
That is the name of it.
Wow. It's so many views.
So what's really weird about the way that that Water Cooler and Blab, the 2 different shows that we have going on every week, is that WP Blab consistently gets like 500, 400 comments on YouTube every single episode.
Dang.
Where WP Blab or WP Water Cooler, like episode number 68 is like the most commented episode. And that's it. None of the other episodes get any real big comments.
Because a social butterfly, social media butterfly, and tweets it all over the bejesus, and all of us are just
tweets it. I tweet it all over the bejesus.
I was going to say grungy developers, but that's not what I meant to say totally. But it's
no, I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny that the 2 different shows, the way that they work are totally different. And I think it's neat that one of them asks for people to interact with them on the show. And this one is like, we have a chat room just so the people that watch the show can actually chat with each other. And we don't look at the chat room except for me.
And afterwards. We've never seen it. We have no idea what you're saying.
The chat room actually disappears after we're done. Like it erases itself and you're not able to see
there's no history or anything of it.
So
anyway.
it's like Snapchat room.
It totally did.
So this whole time there's been somebody in the chat room going, how do I get a show about page builders? And we've never answered them.
Yeah, I answered them, but you guys don't.
Yeah, this guy's been logging in for 5 years asking us that.
Well, there's like 6 or 8 people in there right now talking about, saying happy birthday to WaterCooler, and somebody else is saying, thank you guys for all the information that we've learned over the years and all that sort of thing.
That's real sweet. I wonder all the things that people have said that you've never told us before.
Thank you, people we're paying no attention to.
See, they're sitting in the chat room right now saying hi.
Hey, Rachel.
Oh, hey, look at that.
It's
hi,
awesome.
guys. That's exciting.
That's cool.
Experience.
Oh, man.
That's fun. Yeah, a lot of this show, I think it's amazing how much of this show happens really just super, like, that's the authenticity again, I guess, but super spontaneously because, like, we're like topic last minute, thing, last minute. And we've been doing that part we've been consistent about for 5 years.
Well, yeah, we're not planners.
Consistently procrastinating.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with our consistency.
One thing I thought would be consistent, which ended up changing, was we were on Mondays, now we're on Fridays, and I'm wondering, Jason, like, what have you seen the difference between those? Like, have you seen more?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
no difference.
No difference. Yeah, I haven't seen any difference whatsoever. Because the people that complain about the show being happening on Mondays or Fridays, depending on, and there's still people that go, I'm looking for the show on Mondays, it's not here. When's it going live? And it's like, it goes on Fridays.
I think those people are having a case of the Mondays.
and we it's funny you say that, Steve, but we had a case of the Mondays almost every single Monday that we do the show. And Steve's like,
maybe that's why we're so brutal.
I'm jury duty, I'm doing this and that. I mean, we had Steve in the weirdest places throughout the years. He was in the car.
It's all like sorts someone's got a case of the Mondays.
say stealing Taco Bell's Wi-Fi and hopping on the show. I mean, all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah, Mondays were tough.
Yeah, Mondays were the worst. And what's funny is Fridays.
That weekend, it was really hard.
Yeah. Fridays are tough too because most of the time you folks are going off to some WordCamp or something. And it's like, oh, I'm not available this Friday. I'm sorry, I'm going to be gone. And
hey,
yeah, it doesn't work as well.
I'm sort of a big deal, man.
You're sort of a big deal.
So can we all agree that the running joke of the water cooler is still about the uploads folder? Like, I think that's.
You mean the media uploader?
No, the media.
Yeah.
The media
uploader.
The media tag stuff in it.
Yes.
With Say used to always talk about that.
Never die.
That is consistent 5 years running.
That is consistent 5 years running. Also, have you guys gotten any mail other than Jason, who gets the official mail? Have any of you guys gotten any mail or any fun stuff?
I have had somebody, so when I used to work at the mortgage company, I had a phone number behind me, and I actually had Brian Hogg call me a couple times, and he's like, wow, it's a real phone number.
Say's the only one who gets fan mail.
Yeah.
I got some, like, a couple weeks ago. I got someone messaged me and told me that they...
Do you have beautiful all over your face?
The attraction.
Not this time.
You have attraction all over your face.
Yeah, how many proposals did you have, Say? That's what I want to know.
No proposals, just some strangely constructed sentences, sentences. But I appreciate all of it. It makes me feel appreciated and loved, despite my opinions about the media upload folder. Which, incidentally...
do you take those packages to the police department to have them look at before you actually open them?
My address is not behind me, a la Rush, or my phone number. None of that.
You know what was really cool about the water cooler is that I noticed when I was on it, and I used to go to WordCamps a lot, there was people out there watching it, and they knew who I was, and I didn't know who they were, but it was awesome anyway.
I get that all the time. Yes, I get that all the time at WordCamps. Hey, water cooler.
Feel like a mini celebrity.
Yeah, I'm just a guy, a dude.
Really? No, really. Yeah. He's just a guy.
Just a guy. Yeah.
And that's primarily because there's 28 million minutes that people have watched of this particular show over the last 5 years.
It's one of those things where
we spent 28 million minutes together.
Well,
so two people watching it for 14 million minutes apiece.
How many man hours have gone into this show over the years?
How many man hours?
Yeah,
well, like 250.
There's been mostly 2 women on.
250 times 8 people. or 5 people.
Oh, you mean
Divided by two,
yeah.
unless you count the pre-show.
Yeah, math is hard.
That's way
Now,
too
the
much
thing
math for me
about
right
the
now,
two,
John.
the thing about the number 250, and we're almost out of time, but the thing about the number 250 is that 250 actual episodes where we sat down and recorded a show. There are plenty of WordCamps that we've done multiple little mini episodes that we've recorded, and I think we probably have about 25 or so of those. So we're definitely over 250 episodes of hitting record and actually saying something.
Oh yeah.
Way to ruin it at the end, dude.
I know.
It's not really 250. Psych.
You promised me this was 250.
I just want to say at the end here that I'm really glad that we've been doing this for this long. I'm down to keep going. Keep meeting up with you guys. I've spent more time and been more consistent with you guys than a lot of my friends and like some of my family. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate being here with you guys.
So Say has blown through a whole group of friends and kept us around during the 5 years of the water cooler. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome, folks. That's about it for today. Go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com. Click on the links there to subscribe. If you enjoyed this stuff, we can check out the other shows that we do as well. Go over to WPwatercooler.com/WPblab. Find all the stuff over there. WPwatercooler.com/subscribe is where you can subscribe to this and all this other stuff. And you can definitely leave a comment about something crazy about Steve. Definitely do something like that.
And don't ever forget, how good do we suck?
Phrasing, Steve.